The Ten Commandments. 1. In my opinion, the two commandments of God are still very relevant today because in the fourth commandment of the world's context are remember and keep the Sabbath day holy. That as we know today that Christians still do it, namely by going to worship, go to church every Sunday or worship on the 17th day. God's fourth commandment says, remember and keep the Sabbath day holy week is the seventh day of the week. To keep the day holy means to set it apart as different for other days by stopping work in order to rest, serve God, and focus on the things that charter God, immortality, spirituality, life, and honor. In the fifth commandment of God which says, honor your father and mother, so that you may live long in the life. The Lord your God insists that we should honor our parents, and we honor God because as we know that people, the old man is the representative of God in this earth, and in this five commandments of Allah, the Lord God promises that those who honor their parents will have a long life by God. God reward every God sowing with a God harvest. Sowing honor will reap long life in our land. Oh, God have blessed. Fruit and the Spirit. I will choose two of the nine fruit in the Spirit, that is patience and kindness. Patience, Colossians chapter 3 verse 12 says, therefore as God chosen people who are sanctified and loved by Him, where merry kindness can also be called facing trials, for that we must really open our hearts because patience is very relevant to our personality as friends of Christ and God's elect. We must learn to be patient. One real example of learning to be patient is to wait. Often waiting or is on thing that requires a high level of patience has a limit. When we are on the threshold of patience, we must increase our sense of patience according to God's teaching. Kindness, in my opinion, is something that is freely given by God. This gift is not given to just anyone. For example, it is grace. If we choose to be gold children, it is an example of His grace for us. In Matthew chapter 5 verse 7 says, blessed are the merciful, for they will receive mercy. That is, before we get grace from God, we learn to be generous, kind. In other words, pleasant or generous means that we have a generous attitude first, namely respecting fellow human beings without expecting balance. After that, we will get the grace of God.